You've been lied to. They told you success means hustle, constant movement, never sleeping, outworking everyone in the room. But what if the real path to power doesn't look like noise and chaos? What if it looks like stillness, precision, mastery? The Stoics didn't sprint. They advanced like warriors, deliberate, focused, immovable. Their secret wasn't grinding themselves into the ground. It was knowing what not to do, what not to chase, when to stay still, and when to strike. That's not laziness, it's strength. Modern culture glorifies burnout as a badge of honor, but a Stoic doesn't run until they collapse. A Stoic builds systems, habits, mindsets, progress that sustains. You don't need to scream your goals. You don't need to exhaust yourself proving you're on the grind. The loudest person in the room is rarely the one in control. True growth, it happens quietly, early in the morning, in solitude, in the choices no one sees. The rest, it's just noise. You're not here to chase trends. You're here to build a mind so sharp, so calm, so clear, that the world begins to adjust to you. Think of a sculptor chipping away at stone, not in a rush, not in a frenzy, but with calm, measured strikes. That's how a Stoic levels up, not with desperate hustle, but with intelligent refinement. The chaos around them becomes irrelevant. Most people confuse movement with progress. They chase more followers, more noise, more validation. But noise is not growth. Growth is subtractive. It's about removing what no longer serves your purpose, your ego, your distractions, your excuses. The Stoic method doesn't demand that you move faster. It demands that you move smarter, that every action you take has weight, that your time is not wasted trying to be everywhere. It's invested in becoming someone. And here's the quiet truth no one talks about. Real transformation isn't loud. It's not a montage with music and sweat and hustle. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's discipline behind closed doors. Marcus Aurelius didn't seek applause. Epictetus didn't look for likes. They worked inwardly. They didn't chase the world. They shaped their inner world until nothing external could shake them. That's your task now. Subtract the noise. Sharpen the focus. Move with the confidence of someone who doesn't need to prove anything. Modern ambition has a flaw. It's addicted to speed, but speed without direction is chaos. A Stoic doesn't run blindly. A Stoic maps the terrain first, then moves with force and finality. That's what makes them untouchable. This is the Stoic upgrade. Not more effort, but deeper effort. You're not trying to impress others. You're trying to impress your future self, the version of you that doesn't bend under pressure, the version that leads without noise. Your life changes the moment you stop hustling for approval and start refining for mastery. When your mornings begin in silence and structure, when your goals aren't public but private oaths to yourself, when your discipline becomes your sanctuary. In that space, others might not notice the change immediately, but you will. You'll walk differently, think sharper, speak less, move with a presence that demands attention, not through volume, but through stillness. That's when they'll say, you've leveled up. But you'll know the truth. You didn't level up by adding more. You upgraded by letting go of distractions, of hustle culture, of the belief that power must always be loud. And if this path resonates with you, if this quiet discipline feels like home, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss the next step. The world might not applaud your silence, but that's where your power grows, in the unseen, the uncelebrated, the uncomfortable. Every day you resist the pull to prove yourself. You strengthen the core of who you are. Hustle tells you to run harder. Stoicism tells you to pause, observe, and strike only when it matters. One builds burnout, the other builds precision. When Epictetus was a slave, He couldn't control his circumstances, but he mastered his responses. That's the Stoic advantage. You can be surrounded by chaos and still move like a strategist, calm, clear, collected. So what does this look like in real life? It's when you start your day with reflection, not scrolling. When you build your habits in silence, not for show. When you decline the invite that doesn't align with your mission. When you put down your phone and pick up your journal. These are not grand gestures. They are quiet victories. The world won't clap, but you will feel the difference. You will notice the gaps where stress used to live, slowly filling with strength. And in time, you'll become the one others look to. Not because you shout the loudest, but because you move the smartest. People may ask why you've changed, why you're not chasing the same things anymore. But you're not here to explain. You're here to evolve. Real progress doesn't require an audience. It requires alignment. And that's what the Stoic path gives you, a compass to follow, even when the world is pulling you in every direction. Seneca said, "If you know not to which port you sail, no wind is favorable." That's what happens when you hustle without intention. You drift, you burn out, you lose sight of why you started, but not anymore. You've decided to choose depth over noise, discipline over distraction, self-respect over approval. You no longer trade your peace for temporary applause. You've stepped off the treadmill of proving and into the arena of becoming. And this is the moment most people miss. The boring, gritty, quiet consistency that forges an unshakable man. This is where power is born, not in the hustle, but in the restraint. Now here's the question that defines the rest of your journey. Are you ready to become the version of yourself that no longer needs to explain, chase, or prove, only to build, endure, and lead? You don't rise by being louder. You rise by being clearer, on your purpose, on your values, on your limits. This is what makes you untouchable. Not money, not image, but clarity. And clarity only comes when you stop scattering your energy, when you focus your effort like a blade, when your mind no longer reacts to noise but studies it, filters it, masters it. This is mental restraint. The art of choosing your thoughts the way a warrior chooses his weapons. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every emotion deserves your reaction. You become dangerous the moment you stop trying to convince others and start building the discipline to master yourself. Because while others are burning out trying to be seen, you're becoming a force that doesn't need permission to lead. If you want more content that sharpens your mind and builds your inner strength, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join the few who choose depth over distraction. So tell me this, what part of your life needs the most restraint right now? And what would happen if you finally mastered it?